Welcome, Snoozy fam, to another Frightmare Friday, where we scour the internet to find some of the most terrifying nightmares people have had. You won't want to miss today's episode. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more amazing content on dreams, nightmares, and all things sleep. Dreaming about the end of the world has been a common occurrence for as long as we could remember, and it could be a fascinating experience. Although sometimes, it could be one of the scariest dreams you could ever have. Today's story is inspired by a user over at Reddit, and it's about the day where the apocalypse came. Now, let the dreams begin. It was a typical day at school like any other, but then my teacher walked in with a distressed expression on her face. She informed the class that in 4 days, the world would come to an end as a result of a zombie plague that the world has never seen before. Then she plays a clip of the news report from this morning on the big projector. The news anchor said, "Everyone should be careful when out on the streets. There have been some reports of a dangerous zombie plague nicknamed Zovid-23 on the streets of New York. Scientists are still trying to figure out where this plague came from and how it works. So far, there have been no reports of any new discoveries." The entire class was stunned into silence. The teacher then grabbed her purse from her table and said, "May the gods be with you all," as she proceeded to leave the classroom. Even though I enjoyed watching movies about zombies, the idea that this actually occurred in real life struck me as ridiculous. Is this a joke? Are we being pranked by the teachers or something? I thought to myself. But after waiting 15 minutes without the teacher returning, I knew that our teacher was serious about this. I still thought nothing of it. The news reports were still quite inconclusive, and the news anchor said it was in New York, and I was in Portland. When I got home and told my family about what had happened in school today, we all laughed about the situation's absurdity. I joined in the laughter, and then we just brushed the whole thing off as unimportant. 3 days later, we haven't really heard much about the zombie plague after the initial news report. It was a beautiful day and I was at home. I distinctly remember it being Sunday because that's the day our gardener comes to tend to our yard. My relatives had come to see us on that particular day, and I was chatting to one of my nephews about this new video game that was about to come out. At the corner of my eye, I saw the front door open slowly, and a young woman whom none of us knew entered my home. She was moving about the foyer as if she was blind. I kept quiet and put my index finger over my lips, indicating to my nephews to be quiet. The lady just kept walking about mindlessly, knocking things over and bumping into walls. This was a very frightening sight, to say the least. I quietly and slowly moved closer to the lady to get a better look at the situation. In doing so, I accidentally made a creaking sound as I stepped on the creaky wooden floors. The lady stopped moving abruptly and slowly turned her head towards my direction. Now I had a clear view of her face. It was mangled up, with pieces of skin peeling off and hanging by her chin. She just stared at me blankly, as if she was looking right past me. Then, all of a sudden, that blank look turned into an outraged maniac. I had never seen this type of expression on anyone's face before. She let out a loud howl and started sprinting towards me at full speed. She pounced on top of me, knocking me down. To protect myself, I grasped her hands and pulled it away. That was able to free up my legs, and I kicked the crazed lunatic off of me. I ran towards the kitchen and grabbed a knife and stabbed her in the arm with it. The wound on her arm let out a slimy green fluid. This is not normal. This is not normal at all. The crazed lady then turned her head towards the door and ran off into the distance. I looked up to see my parents and the rest of the family gathered in the kitchen. My nephews appeared to be in a state of shock. I was in a state of shock. Nothing made sense to me. Who was this lady? Why did she look like that? And why was her blood green? We turned on the TV to the news channel and we found out that the zombie apocalypse, or COVID-23, had broken containment and is now spreading like wildfire across the United States. We also found out that the infected people would break into people's homes with the sole purpose to infect and spread the disease. They were adept at breaking into homes, and they had a powerful bite, which was their primary form of spreading this disease. The weakness they had was that all of them were blind. They would all congregate around homes like mindless zombies, trying to find a way to enter. This would be the first phase towards the end. I was having a conversation with my parents, telling them that we need to come up with a plan and fast if we want to stay alive. We had enough food in our pantry and our storage to keep us nourished for at least a month. So our main plan is to barricade all entrances and keep these zombies out of our home. And we all had to do this quietly. We split up the tasks amongst us. At one point, I went up to close the curtains in my room with my nephew. I was going to take off the window curtains and replace them with wooden boards. But then I noticed a girl standing outside with the same crazed face, just staring at me. But unlike the crazy lady from before, it seemed like she had the ability to see. As soon as that thought came to my mind, I became extremely terrified. A knot formed in my gut. Although both me and my nephew made an effort to conceal ourselves from the girl's view, there was no doubt that our cover had been blown. We quickly hurried back to the kitchen to inform everyone about the new discovery and that we may be in way more danger than we expected. But before I knew it, the girl that was standing outside of my room had broken in through the back door. She was craving blood. She lunged towards me in a monstrous manner, similar to a wolf pouncing onto a young deer. She was grunting and snarling at me as we battled in the kitchen. She had incredible strength, and I was about to be overpowered by her. Her mouth opened with her razor-like teeth, about to bite me in the neck. Then, my dad stepped in and pulled her off of me. With all of his might, he jabbed her with a shower curtain rod right through her chest, piercing her heart. That girl laid in the middle of our kitchen, as still as can be, with a thick green blood spilling from her chest. I immediately got up and hugged my dad. I looked at him and then around the room and noticed that my mom and all of the other people were nowhere to be found. "Where's Mom? Where's everyone else?" I said in panic. My dad grabbed me by the shoulder and stared straight into my eyes. His face now plastered with a menacing grin, and he said to me, "Everyone is dead, and now I have you all to myself." After he finished, he opened his mouth with razor-sharp teeth and bit into my flesh. My body went numb, and my vision started to fade as I lost consciousness. When I finally woke up, I was back in my room, drenched in sweat. After taking a second to calm down, I realized that I was just having a nightmare. I have to stop watching so many zombie apocalypse movies, as I gave a big sigh of relief. Have you had an apocalyptic nightmare? Let us know in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and click on that notification bell for more amazing content like this. Share this with a friend if you think they may need a little wake-up call. Thanks for watching, and until next time, sleep well.